Hey YouTube, this is Duck62 here. Today I'm just going to show you what we have here. We are actually making duck jerky. It's what we do after the hunt. You've seen all my videos on YouTube and all the duck hunts I put on there. I don't put all my duck hunts on there, but some of the good ones that I get a lot of footage, I try to put them all together and put them in there. But this is what we do after the hunt. Sometimes we take them, we grill all the ducks up, but this is my favorite thing to do with it right here. Just make duck jerky. I've got a recipe and everything to show you how to do it. Hey guys, we're back to the second portion of this. We're actually going to make the jerky marinade now because my duck is defrosting from the freezer yet and I can't quite cut it up until it's fully defrosted. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the marinade for you. You're just going to need all your ingredients. It's easier to lay them out. You're just going to go ahead and put them all in a Ziploc bag like this. I've kind of already started a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you the recipe right here. So that way y'all can screen print it or whatever you want. That way you can just kind of see it. That is everything I put on there. Everything that goes in that bag, and then you just kind of shake it up and mix it up with your jerky strips. And I'll show you how to cut up those jerky strips later. First off, you're just going to take your plastic bag here. I've already got two of the ingredients in there. You're going to have your recipe right there, right next to you, so you follow it down. I take and I put all the dry stuff in there first. So I've got the tablespoon of meat tenderizer in there and the quarter teaspoon of ground ginger in there. And now we're going to move on. We got to do the black pepper is going to be in there next. So you just go ahead and fill that up. The more pepper you put in there, it's going to be a little more spicy or a little more kick to it. So feel free to add and take as you want. And then you just go ahead and add that in there and shake that up so it all mixes with each other. Go ahead and take the lid off of brown sugar. I don't know what y'all keep it in, but you're going to need 2 tablespoons. That is it. And take that up, shake it all around. Make sure you mix all the ingredients in there, so that way it all mixes up real nice. And that right there is your marinade. Alright guys, this is the next step of our video. Next we're going to look at the duck breasts here. I got 9 of them here. Obviously just a small little duck breast here. From wood duck you don't get much out of it, but hey, it works. These have been frozen for maybe a couple months here, a month or two. So I'm just going to take the bag here. I'm going to fill it up with water. And really try to rinse them off, get all that blood and anything that might have been on there out. And you just go ahead and drain that out. And then I'm actually going to put this in the sink. I'll turn the sink on and I'm going to wash each one of them individually. This little piece back here, don't underestimate it. It can be used as a good little jerky strip if you've got it. And I'm just going to take them out and line them up on the edge of the sink here. So, go through and wash each one of these. I'm not really thoroughly washing them, but just enough to rinse them off. And that's really all the preparation you get for them. Before you got to cut them up, I'll get to cutting them just in the next bit here. But this is it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 duck breasts again. Enough to make a nice little meal of jerky, snack. Alright guys, after you wash up the meat and get it all prepared to cut up, I'm about to show you how you're going to cut it up. I take my fillet knife here and take my sharpener and just run it through a couple times to make sure it's nice and sharp. And you really want to get that end because you're really going to be using the front point of the knife, a lot of it. Rather than the whole entire knife. So once you're done with that, just wipe it off, make sure there's nothing on there. Alright, this is the important part though. Alright, when you take your first piece and pretty much you just keep on cutting it in half. So you're going to take it and you're going to go straight down the center, just like this, and you're going to make that cut. And that should pull right apart. Now you're going to have 2. And then you just take the second one and you flip it over any way you want, and then you just cut it in half again. And make sure it kind of splits with the fat there. And this right here This right here is a little too fat. You just want it probably one more cut in half. That way you can get it nice and skinny and nice and thin, so that when you put it on that dehydrator, it cooks all the way through and you don't get any real chunky pieces, you know. You're going to want long, thin pieces on a dehydrator. Alright, you're going to notice this next piece has a little bit of muscle right here on the outside. It's going to be right here. You know, you can kind of see that. It's alright to have some of that on there, but you're going to want to get most of that off. So you just kind of thread your knife through on the bottom half of that, and you can just kind of peel it right off. And that'll come right on off. Now if you can do that without ruining the piece of meat or cutting it real short or anything like that, and still be able to cut it in half one more time, just like that, and you're going to get a couple of good pieces that you can just kind of keep on breaking down if you find a real fatty piece on there. I mean, fat's okay, or the muscle tissue on there is going to be okay, kind of like that. That's fine. It's going to work out just fine. But if you get a real thin piece like this, where it's got a real fat bottom like that, you just might want to trim a little bit of it off. You know, it prevents jerky from breaking up on you or anything like that. So you just trim a little bit of the fat off, and it cuts it down to size. And I just lay all my jerky strips right inside here. Alright, then you're going to take the next piece, and you're just going to do the same thing. You're just going to keep on cutting it in half. Once you get it in half, cut it again. And this is what you're looking for right here. Nice thin strips like this. I mean, that one could even go one more if it really needs to, but this one right here is alright. Alright. And then you're just going to lay those out. Keep on cutting. And go right through the process. And then that's one. See, that one made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strips of jerky. So obviously there's 9 duck breasts will get you a good amount of jerky. And after you take the marinade here, you mix that on up, especially if it's sitting a little while. Open it right up, and then you're just going to take your strips like this. You're just going to put them right in the bag. And then you're just going to mush them up into the marinade, you know, get them all covered. And then you're just going to keep on repeating, and that'll be it. Alright guys, I just finished. So I'm going to take all these little strips I've cut up, just like this. I cut up all 9 breasts in a little bit of strips. So now I'm just going to take them all and I'm just going to load them into this bag. Probably going to be pretty full because I have a small bag. I'm just going to zip it up and make sure you get that marinade all around each of the strips. You know, it might take a little bit of mixing here. Not really don't mix it up, because if you leave that marinade on the bottom and only couple all the ones in the middle, all the ones on the top are not going to come out as flavorful. So you really want to make sure you get all that marinade around in there. Mix it all up. And that's pretty much what you're going to end up right there. I mean, I still got a little bit of mixing left to do because of the size of the bag. It's a little bit harder to mix. What you're going to do next is you're just going to take this and you're going to let it sit in the fridge overnight. Alright? It's just got to marinate, let all the juices soak into the meat, and then about tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, you go ahead and put this on the dehydrator. Alright guys, this is the last leg of our video here. Obviously it's on day 2 of the making of the jerky here. We have been marinating our jerky all night here. It's the next afternoon, and I'm going to show you how to put it on the dehydrator, and then later I'll make another segment on how it comes out. Alright, this is all you need for the next segment here. You're just going to need obviously your marinated jerky and your dehydrator. Alright, you're going to go ahead and take the top off here. You can see that's all it is. And I have a 4-layer dehydrator, so there's room for a lot of jerky on there. But we'll see how many layers I'm going to need. You just start with your first one here. You're actually going to want to take an old towel or some paper towels or something, and you're just going to want to put it under there so that the jerky doesn't drip down onto whatever surface you're working on. Alright, you're going to go ahead and open up your jerky here, and pretty much you're just going to keep on taking strips and just laying them out. Like you take your first strip here and you just lay it out, and then you just go ahead and do that over and over until you fill up the tray. And I can tell this is smelling really good, so alright, I'll get with you a second when I finish, but this is, I can tell it's smelling really good here. It's the meat has definitely absorbed the meat has definitely absorbed all the flavoring that I've put in there. And so you're just going to keep on doing this, and I'll get back to you in a sec when I finish. Alright guys, this is what it's going to look like when it's done. These are the full trays right here. You're not going to want to really pack them in there, but just kind of spread them out so that they lay flat and have enough room to cook on each side. And then you're just going to build it back up. Set all trays are on there. Put the bottom back on. The top. And then you're just going to set it for 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Plug it in and let it go for about 4 hours. You're just going to have to check it and make sure. And then you find out how it cooks. And I'll let you know how it does after. Alright guys, this is it. The jerky has been sitting on the dehydrator for about 4 hours now. I put it on about noon. It's about 4 o'clock right now. I'll open it up, and it is looking good. To have all our 4 layers here. All of it seems to have cooked right through. And that's it. Now you have your jerky. It tastes real good. You just kind of pick it off the dehydrator here, and it's ready to eat. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.